Wow.
Sipping my tea.
I had tears in my eyes earlier when I was watching those clips.
So, Brandon, you and all these Democratic mayors out here and governors, y'all talking about crashing out for these illegals, right? You all stood up there and said you will not allow Trump to come in here and get these illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in $1 billion deficit. And you spent half of our money, half of that on illegals. Trump, Tom Homan, make an example out this right here first. Please come here first, because you know what? We're going to help you. We want a forensic.
Ma'am, I would ask that you keep your, hold on a second, stop her time.
Our mayor is embarrassing us, y'all, around the world. And you all took the power back from him to say the city of Chicago is out of the business of funding illegals. We are out of the business of prioritizing non-American citizens on top of the American citizens who go out in this cold weather every day to make money to pay their taxes.
You so strong about protecting those aliens, but you won't do nothing for the U.S. citizens.
Here you are with another gritty property tax hike, trying to push the have-nots to house your precious illegal immigrants. You told Trump you ain't gonna blink? Well, we ain't either. You ain't above the law, and where you gonna run to when Trump pulls that Trump card out on you? I will make it my duty to try to get my gun to perform an Operation Great Lord 2.0 in Chicago and lock all of you crooked Democrats and judges up. And it's just like that.
Diploma? Wow.
Sipping my tea.
I had tears in my eyes earlier when I was watching those clips. I did. Who would have thought that you would see people, Chi-Town in the house. I mean, these people are literally taking back their rightful place in that city council meeting in Chicago City, in the streets of Chicago, against the mayor. These people are what we call Americans. We, the people. Who would have thought that you could see people flipping Chicago red? I mean, that woman, now they beeped her out, but she did say this Negro. She didn't say MFer. Mm-hmm. She said this Negro right in his face. We talk about this all the time. Our taxes are used to fund so much other stuff. When if we had our own money, we would have better health care, if you will, because we would be able to send our children to whatever school without the quote unquote government assistance. There would be so much more that we would have control over our lives. We don't need the Elizabeth Warrens telling us to regulate this and regulate that. We don't need any politicians making any more laws. And hell, we need to get rid of many of them. Thank you, Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk, and what we call, what is it? Doge. Yes. So these, I mean, that was a beautiful. I need to put that somewhere, mark that, earmark it, bookmark it, whatever. But that was, it was almost a spiritual thrill to see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are your thoughts there, Nicole?
It's a continuing awakening. We were there this summer. We heard a lot of the same things. Mm-hmm. You know, you can only mistreat people for so long.
Well, it's been a long time.
In Chicago, you know, when we talk about the blue wall and Democrats assume that the city is going to go blue, but what you're hearing from people is, okay, we've had enough, right? Mm-hmm. And what do we have to lose? Exactly. What do we have to lose? You have everything to gain. What do we have to lose? In addition to that, while they were saying that, you remember the DNC had...
She's saying, what do we have to lose? Isn't that something that Trump said in 2016? He said, your schools are shit. He didn't say shit, but he said, your schools are shit. He's like, at this point, what do you have to lose? And those that are on the left, they viewed that as racist. I was looking at it like, well, he's telling the truth. They invest more money in schools in the United States than any other country. But it's to align the pockets of the politicians and pensions and this, that, the other. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with pensions. I grew up in a town to where you work 30 years, 40 years, you get your pension, you retire, you get your pension, and then you go on about your business. So I'm not against pensions, not at all. But there's profit to be made off pensions. And so that's what they're doing. But anyway, I digress. It's like you're investing all this money into the educational system from K through 12, and it's not doing any good. And that's a red flag in and of itself. All this money, $10,000-$12,000 a year per pupil is what they call it. And these kids, they graduate high school and they can't even fucking read? Are you kidding me? Somebody getting rich is definitely not the kids. These kids can't even read. And then we sit here and actually, I was about to say we sit here and wonder why kids are doing this and doing that and doing that, but we know it's really not about that. It's about, it starts at home. No fathers in the home, and we know all these type of stories, this, that, and the other. But can some of that stuff be mediated with, at least when the kids are away from home at school for 8 hours, can we give them something? They're not getting anything.
Had their convention there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they cleaned all the bums off the street and got everything nice and shiny for the Democrats. And as soon as they left, bums back, trash back, right back to what they were before. When we talk about cities being under siege, Chicago has its fair share, but imagine Texas.
Yes.
Imagine Southern California. You know, here in Maryland. I mean, and Maryland's not a border, quote unquote, a border state by any stretch of the imagination, but we have a ton of illegal immigrants living in the state of Maryland.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I gotta say, I hate to be
Debbie
Downer, right? But I hope it's a change. You know, they elected this guy. I mean, during the last.
I've never watched this before, but this lady looks weird. Oh my gosh, you enough face cake on, and then I'm sure they have a term for this in the model world or something like this, but these facial lines and all of this type of stuff, this lady looks weird. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. I ain't never seen nobody that looked like this before. That's a normal person. Can she be a droid or a bot or something like that? Could she be AI imposed upon something? AR? I don't know. Just saying, she looked weird.
Election, he was the more progressive than the other guy that was running, and they elected him. So I hope that this is definitely a sea change, because you know, and I hope they, you know, going to the city council meetings is great, but I hope that they, you know, in the next election vote differently, because that is what actually matters. And so
can I say this? As someone who seeks out candidates, dusts them off and stands them up, these are the people that you want to run next time. Do you know? These are the people that you want to put their name on a ballot for the city council to level out some of that wokeness, because they're not going to let things sneak by them. And in addition, they're going to bring more like-minded people into the fold. This is how you grow the movement. Is it going to be a little bit more difficult in Chicago? Make no mistake, because Big Blue is big in Chicago. But can we take them down? Absolutely. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
One bite. And I applaud these people. They've been consistent for at least the last year.
Yeah, they've been on them.
They've been consistent. So again, I hope they are revved up in the right direction. Like you said, I hope it's real. I hope it sustains. It sustains itself, and I hope they get Brandon. What's his name? Brandon Scott. No, we got Scott. Oh shoot,
yeah, he's a Johnson.
One and the same. Yeah, but get the other Brandon out.
Get the Brandons out of office. But I'm looking forward to the good people of Chicago hearing alternatives from what they normally hear, so that they're not what we call low information voters,
Right.
maybe, just maybe, something, a seed is going to be planted and they're going to do better next time.
Yeah, I hope so too. What do you guys think in the chat? Sound off in the chat. Do you think this is going to...
All right, this is going to be the end of this video because some people may say this misogynist or something like that. I just cannot sit and listen to women talk. There's a few women on the internet, a few, that I can sit and listen talk. Messy Michonne, I can listen to her talk. My girl Sappy Saps, I can sit there and listen to her talk for hours. Even I don't consume just Pearly Things content, I can sit there and listen to Pearl talk. But this right here, whoo, I can only take this for so long. So if you're on Facebook, just like the video, Mr. Info 5000. If you're on YouTube, search Mr. Info space 5000 spelled out FIVETHOUSAND. Peace.